Hey everybody, Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you had a great day. A few things to discuss today, as usual. So I just want to sit here and do more research. There's so much juicy stuff coming out, but I wanted to start limiting how much I put into these videos. So I've got 5 key points today, and it's all about how to grow my bag. So GameStop CEO bought 100,000 shares, my bad. So that's something to do, except they also made a faux pas, which, yeah, they got a pop from the 100,000 shares, but there's something else. In the latest exploit, Solana-based or Solana-native stablecoin Cashio, yes, I said Cashio, its ticker is Cash if you go on one of the boards, plummeted 98% in just hours because of a crazy exploit. We'll dig into that. Robinhood finally launched its debit card. Now that's pretty interesting when you think about it, because you'll be able to use the card, and whatever roundups you have at the end of the week, you can get a bonus. We'll talk about that. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm actually interested in that. Not that I want to use the platform. Blockchain payment platform eMoney is going to bring their euro-pegged stablecoins to Avalanche. That says a lot, because Avalanche is a layer 1 and is also deemed to be, almost like Solana, deemed to be a Ethereum competitor. They're fast, they're doing a lot, they have a lot going on. Avalanche is on the move. And more good news for Avalanche, Coinbase Cloud released a bunch of tools to help developers leverage Coinbase Wallet. One of the things that they'll be able to leverage are the built-in Fiat on-ramps, so that they can actually buy Avalanche. So we'll dig in. So GameStop was a great story, and for a while now, it's been a great mess. The reason why I say so is because they come out with this great story. The CEO goes out and buys 100,000 shares, and that would definitely boost confidence in the stock. Makes sense, right? Right. But then, what they do, they have a press release given out by Loopring saying that GameStop's NFT marketplace, which also launched today, is on Loopring. Great, right? Yeah, it would be. Except a few months ago, the word was hitting the street that Immutable X stole the business. And guess what? Today was the day when everything hit the fan. So Loopring comes out with this beautiful statement. Immutable X says, hold on a minute there, buddy. And then GameStop has to go clean that up. They didn't do a good job cleaning it up, because all they said was they are currently on Loopring. Wow. Just wow. You could have handled that better. It would have been great news. People would have been focused on, instead of the faux pas, they'd have been focused on, what are you doing with the NFT marketplace, which is a part of the research that I have to do, because I'm dying to find out. You're not really for gamers, so what is this marketplace going to do? So I'm waiting to see what kind of backlash they get from real gamers or anything else, or if it's a good marketplace and they're actually doing something. So that's going to be interesting. Solana can't get good news out of this. Apparently, a stable coin pegged to the dollar, Cashio, or Cashio. I don't know how they're pronouncing it. Ticker is Cash. It plummeted 98% because of an infinite mint hole in the platform. What that means is a hacker was able to get in and mint $2 billion worth of cash. I kid you not, that's what they call it. It's what it is. They minted $2 billion worth of cash. I don't know if they'll actually be able to get it, because I would think that it would be trackable. But anyway, but 98% plummet for a stable coin. So Cashio, hopped on it. They think they've identified the root cause. They did release a statement that they will release a post-mortem, as soon as possible. They've asked everybody to pull out or withdraw their funds from pools, but that's a major blow. That's a major blow. I don't know if they're going to recover from that. Maybe they do, and people gain, get back to confidence and do that. But remember, it has to do with the liquidity pools, and that's that whole DeFi kind of thing. Know what kind of technology you're relying on. Understand how they've got it implemented. What kind of testing they do. I keep harping on the testing that Cardano does. Same thing. To what standard are they holding themselves to doing this testing? Like I said, they think they've identified the root cause. Hopefully they can squash it, and hopefully they can get back to business. I hate to see companies go down, for something like this, for malicious intent. But we'll see. That's the only thing we can do is sit back and wait. But that's a $2 billion hit, and that's nuts. But $2 billion, that's a lot of money. Like, again, I'm gonna be interested to see, like, do they actually get the $2 billion? Like, can they put, flip that into fiat? Because you can trace each coin. I mean, so it's not that deep. So Robinhood, in another bit of news, which I've been waiting for a long time, they finally released a debit card so you can use your funds. And at the end of the week, obviously, they do roundups, and you can take that money and invest it in stocks or cryptos. And you get bonuses, supposedly bonuses, anywhere from 10% to 100%, in that space. But it's weekly bonuses. So I'm gonna be interested to find out how that works. I don't. Technically, I have a Robinhood account. I got one share of free stock. I think it was Macy's. Don't know. Can't remember. Because I don't use it. Tell you something? Yeah, I don't use it. I have Thinkorswim, which is Ameritrade. Prefer that platform in a big way. No, I don't get paid by them. I don't collect any dollars from them, but I do like the platform. So that's why I just happened to get Robinhood, because my son was getting Robinhood because he wanted to play with it and see what the story was. I'm not all too happy with the platform and how it operates, so I wasn't really interested as a tool. But we'll let that go. So don't mean to harp on that, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's just the way it works. Coinbase Cloud released a whole bunch of tools to help developers take advantage of their platform. First set of developers are Avalanche developers. More great news for Avalanche. Just think about that. So they've got all this stuff going on, all this firepower behind them, and now they've got Coinbase making it so that they've got fiat on-ramps using, with Coinbase Wallet. And imagine being able to use those fiat on-ramps to buy Avalanche. That's actually a very big deal, because Avalanche isn't going to be the only one they work with. There are going to be more. I believe there were 2 more that they actually announced today, but I'm focused on Avalanche because that's the platform that I actually like. You can actually do, as I always say, do your own research, and you can find out who the other 2 are. But like I said, I'm only interested in Avalanche in this particular piece. Something else for Avalanche is eMoney is bringing their euro pegged stable coins to Avalanche, and that's actually a very big deal. I mean, Avalanche is an Ethereum competitor. They compare best to Ethereum, and they are an Ethereum competitor, and they're making big moves, very big moves. So I'm happy with them. I like the project. I like what they're doing. I like how they're doing it. I like the steady path to growth. But we'll see what else happens, because I think they have more in the tank. I think they have a lot. Let me try English now. I think they have a lot more going on. I think they have a lot more in their roadmap to success. Not that they haven't been successful, but I think there's more, and they're in control of their future, and that's a big deal for any project. Look for projects that are in control of their future. A good step, a good step, a good step. And then start to calculate, any kind of risk that you would see in your brain that would give them a misstep, and then try to calculate, well, if they had this kind of a misstep, how much would that hurt the stock? So whatever I invest in, I'm paying attention to the stock, the option, the bond, the crypto, whatever it is I'm investing in. I'm paying close attention to any news that hits the wire that can be negative. Why? Because if it's a small negative, maybe there's just a little bump in the road. If it's a big negative, I might try to get out before the news really hits and drives everything down. And then I'll try to be smart enough to get in when I think a floor has been established, because I know it's going to come back up depending on what it is. For something like Cashio, yeah, I'd be out. I would be out for a long time. Luckily, I don't have anything in that space. But let's get to the numbers, because you're going to see some very interesting things that are going on right now with the numbers. So if you look at this just refreshed a little while ago, and it'll probably refresh as we're looking at it. But looking at this side, I'm not really seeing. I mean, waves is something to look at, but 5% moves. Anything less than 5%, don't care. But I'm not seeing anything on this side that's really going to make me, jump, right? There was one thing right here. Bitcoin Cash has been taking a hit. And this is after the news that I gave you yesterday saying that Bitcoin Cash might have a deal with St. Martin. I told you it was a little sketchy. You have that kind of news that you might be the legal tender of choice, the digital legal tender of choice for a country, and you're not popping. It's a little fishy to me. It's a little fishy to me. On this side, remember we were just talking about Loopring? So yeah, Loopring, look at that, 35%. It's a 35% bump for Loopring. That's a huge bump. This is what I had to tell myself. I said, Eddie, do not FOMO. Do not have FOMO and think you're going to dive into that. I didn't like the platform before. I don't like it now. Why would I get in? Whatever it's achieved now, I believe, okay, that's what it's achieved. If there were options available, you know what I would do? My friend Elliot is probably listening to me right now. What he's thinking is, yeah, exactly. I would buy some puts because I think that puppy's going to drop. Exactly, right? Especially if it comes out to be true that Immutable X is the platform of choice that GameStop's NFT marketplace is going to move to. I think Immutable X is a more interesting project. Loopring, I just haven't been seeing anything. When I first looked at them, I was kind of interested, but I haven't heard anything special about them. I haven't seen anything special about them. They haven't said anything, special about what they do and how they do it. So I just, like a lot of people probably, I just lost interest, and so I don't follow them. For a while, they were on our favorites list. They're not now. DeFi Kingdoms, Jewel, 20%. That's interesting. Axie Infinity, seeing a nice pump, 17%. These are very big deals when you look at this. Those are very big moves. Engine, I was talking about Engine a few weeks ago, and I said Engine is something to pay attention to. Well, 14% worth of paying attention to. And we're talking over a few weeks. Again, if you wanted to take a look at, what your bank gives you, what a mutual fund gives you, and everything else, where are you going to make 14% in a matter of weeks? Even if you said months, where are you going to make that? Where? So I pay attention to what's going on there. Do you see Cardano? Do you see the kind of moves Cardano made? I told you it was going to bust through $100. And guess what did it do? It not $100, $1. Busted through $1. And now it's sitting at $1.09. That's an upward move of over 12%. Again, what other vehicle do you have that is as liquid as crypto where you can make that kind of coin? I'd be interested to find out in this kind of time frame. This is in a day. This is why I tell you, do research on the coins that you're interested in. Do research on any asset you are interested in. Know that asset. Understand its peaks, its valleys. Understand what it could be doing in the future. Pay attention to any kind of reports that they put out. Do research. Put a tickler in so that you can see any news that pops up. Yes, you can do that. Do that. Do it at least review the news once a week. Find out what's going on, where they're headed, what they're doing, because that will help you understand whether they're going to go up or they're going to go down. The more educated you are and understanding you are of the assets that you're looking at, the better the chances you are to protect your money and even make money. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm talking about making money in a short span of time using crypto. And that means that crypto is volatile. It is not for the squeamish. It is not for the squeamish. When I first got into crypto, it was only a few $100s. Then it turned to a few $1,000s and beyond. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't just listen to a bunch of people that are yapping. Do your own research, okay? Please do your own research. If you have questions, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, drop some comments, and I'll try to go do some research for you. Me, Elliot, a few of my friends, we'll go do some research for you and let you know. It's all about how do I grow my bag. Just keep that in mind. Grow my bag. So yesterday we were at 31 on the fear and greed index. We're at 40 today, inching closer to less fear and getting there. This isn't the next one. I think is just neutral. And then after that, you have positive, right? You start to enter greed territory. But we're not there yet. We've got a long way to go. As a matter of fact, I would say that we're going to drop back down again because we've seen so much positive movement. And we still have that macro event going on with Russia's stupid war. Okay? That's not just affecting energy. It's affecting wheat around the world, wheat sales around the world. It's affecting a lot of different things. Nickel, right? Everything that comes out of Russia and comes out of Ukraine is affected right now. That's a problem. So until that gets solved, I just don't see us really exploding, right? I see this as a really nice bump for very specific coins. Look at those macro events that are happening underneath, right? So Loopring, that was a micro event. The Avalanche news, that's a micro event. Those are micro events that can get you a nice pop, even in a market that's getting hurt because of a macro event. Pay attention to these things, right? So right now, earlier I was looking at Bitcoin and it was up around 43,000. Right now, 42,974. That's still a good number. It's a great number. But remember, everything is on sale. As good as Cardano is doing, right? As good as Cardano is doing it, blasted through over $1. That's awesome. Great. Well, Cardano's got, more room because everybody is far below their all-time highs. And if you're far below your all-time highs, though, that's the goal, right? To achieve and then pass those all-time highs. Do your research, try to pick it out. Everybody's green. Again, BTC 42, almost 43. Ethereum back over 3,000. Remember, just last week, they were in the 25s. I think they even hit 24. And now it's at 3,000. So imagine if you were at 25,000. I know it hit 24, but imagine if you're at 2,500. You're at $2,500 and today it's at 3,000. That was a week. Let that wash over you for a minute. That was a week. In a week, you would have increased your profit by 20%. Volatile, but if you understand what your digital assets are, any asset, again, stocks, bonds, options, whatever the asset is, crypto, understand what can move that asset, that specific asset, and pay attention. You're not going to know everything about everything. I don't use algorithms and everything else to figure out everything on a very broad stroke. I try to get in, down, and dirty with a handful of things so I know those things and I can see what's coming. It's like I was harping on Luna. I talked about Avalanche. I was definitely harping on Cardano. VeChain is another one that I harp on. Love VeChain. Just bear with me. Polygon is another one. Chainlink is another one. These are assets that are a part of that space, a part of the connective tissue. And I think they're going to move and you can see it coming. Take a look at the broad stroke. You're looking at a lot of green, right? A lot of green. Near network up 11.24%. You had a lot of companies that were up. Like I said, Axie Infinity, 20%. Again, do you see that? That's 24 hours and it's up 24% in 24 hours. Again, let that wash over you. Sandbox, Sand, up almost 13% in a day. After a long road of wins, in a day, it's up that much. Understand the assets that you're involved in. Pay attention to how they move. Understand their rhythms. Understand the projects that they're involved in, the partnerships that they have. Don't just look at news and guess toward the future. I've been trying to show you to also look at news from the past, right? Because they drop the news here that we're going to do something. And then most likely in the future, when they do it, that's when they'll drop another piece of news. So right here, when they say we're going to do something, if you believe in that project, you buy then. And then when they do it, when that second pop hits, you're ready for the second pop. And when you get to that second pop and it hits, obviously I would be selling as close to the top as possible, and I'd shave some profit, because it's not profit until you take it. It's not a loss until you realize it. Remember that. So that's what I do. I pay attention to those things. Anyway, if you like the information I'm giving you, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Hit the like button and don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified of whenever I drop a new video. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.